Hi students, today let us start the new chapter for 7th class, that is wastewater story. Wastewater story. All of us use water in our homes and make it dirty. That dirty water is rich in leather mixed with oil, black brown water that goes down the drains from the sinks, showers, toilets, laundries is dirty. This water is called as wastewater. This used water should not be waste. We must clean it up by removing pollutants. Clean it by by removing pollutants. Clean water that is fit for use is unfortunately not available to all. It has been reported that more than 1 million of people have no access to safe drinking water. This accounts for a large number of water related diseases and even deaths also. Then, what is wastewater? The water which gets contaminated after various works like washing, bathing, mopping, etc. It is called wastewater. The World Water Day is celebrated on 22nd March. Sewage. Sewage is a complex mixture containing suspended solids, organic and inorganic impurities, nutrients, saprotrophic and disease causing bacteria and other microbes. What does sewage contain? Organic impurities, inorganic impurities, nutrients, bacteria, and microbes. Organic impurities like human feces, animal waste, oil, urea, pesticides, herbicides, fruits, and vegetable waste. These all include organic impurities. The inorganic impurities include nitrates, phosphates, metals, nutrients like phosphorus and nitrogen, bacteria such as which cause cholera and typhoid. Cholera causing bacteria is Vibrio cholerae and typhoid causing bacteria is Salmonella typhi and other microbes such as which cause dysentery such as protozoans. These cause dysentery. This is the these are the components of sewage. And what is sewer? The pipe which carries the wastewater is called sewer. Sewer, the pipe which carries the wastewater is called sewer. And what is sewerage? The network of sewers is called sewerage. You can see here, this is the sewage, this is the sewer, and the network formed by sewer is said to be sewerage. Sewerage. Okay. The network of big and small pipes called sewers and they form sewerage. Sewage treatment. The process of removing impurities from wastewater before it can be reused or sent to the water bodies is called sewage treatment or cleaning of water. What is sewage treatment? It is the process of cleaning of water. It is cleaning of water. Here, the removing of impurities from the wastewater before it can be reused or sent to the water bodies. This process is called as sewage treatment. Water then goes to a grit and sand removal tank. The speed of the incoming wastewater is decreased to allow sand, grit and pebbles to settle down. Here you can see the grit and sand removal tanks, grit and sand removal tanks. So this picture is the grit and sand removal tank. What they do here, the speed of the incoming wastewater is decreased. Here the speed of wastewater is low, whereas they allow sand, grit and pebbles to settle down. Okay, by this the sand, grit, pebbles from the wastewater can be removed. The water is then allowed to settle in a large tank which is sloped towards the middle. The solids like feces settles at the bottom and are removed with the scraper. This is the sludge. A skimmer removes the floatable solids like oil and grease. Water so cleared is called clarified water. So this is the picture of this is the image of water clarifier. Water clarifier. Okay, this is the image of water clarifier. What does happen here? The water from the grit and sand is allowed to settle in the large tank which is sloped towards the middle. Okay, the solids like feces settles at the bottom and are removed with the scraper. The solid materials like feces, they settled at the bottom and they are again removed by the scraper. So this is called as sludge. And the skimmer removes the floatable solids. The solid substance, they sank at the bottom and they can be removed with the scraper, whereas the oil and the grease, these materials, they float on the water. So the skimmer that removes the floatable oil and grease. So water so cleared, by this the water becomes cleared. This is called clarified. This is called clarified water. Then the sludge is transferred to a separate tank where it is decomposed by the anaerobic bacteria. The biogas produced in the process can be used as fuel or can be used to produce electricity. The solid materials which are collected in the water clarifier is known as sludge. Okay, that sludge is transferred to a separate tank where it is decomposed by the bacteria, anaerobic bacteria, and the biogas, here the biogas is produced in this process. So this biogas is used as a fuel, and this gas can be also used for the production of electricity. Then air is pumped into the clarified water to help aerobic bacteria to grow. Bacteria consume human waste, food waste, soaps, and unwanted matter still remaining in clarified water. After several hours, the suspended microbes settle at the bottom of the tank as activated sludge. The water is then removed from the top. So here you can see the image of aerator. This is the aerator. When air is pumped into the clarified water with the help the aerobic bacteria to grow. These bacteria consume the human waste, food waste, soap, and other unwanted matter that still remained in the clarified water. After several hours, the suspended microbes settle at the bottom of the tank as activated sludge. The water is removed from the top. Okay. Next. The activated sludge is about 97% water. The water is removed by sand drying beds or machines. Dried sludge is used as a manure, returning organic matter and nutrients to the soil. The treated water has a very low level of organic material and suspended matter. It is discharged into a sea, a river, or into the ground. Nature cleans it up further. Sometimes it may be necessary to disinfect water with chemicals like chlorine and ozone before releasing it into the distribution system. So what happens here? The activated sludge is about 97% of water. The water is removed by the sand drying beds. That water is removed by the sand drying beds or machines. This dried sludge is used as a manure. Okay, this solid dried sludge is used as a manure, that returning the organic matter and nutrients to the soil. Then the water, this is about the solid material, is used as a manure and it gives nutrients to the soil. Then that water has a very low level of organic material and suspended materials. It is half cleaned. It is then discharged into the sea, a river, or to the ground. Then what happens? This water is discharged into the water bodies as it is low in organic material. Okay, then the nature cleans it up further. Sometimes it may be necessary to disinfect the water. When we release the water into the different water bodies, we have to disinfect that water with the chemicals like chlorine, like chlorine, disinfect by using chemicals like chlorine and ozone before we release it into the water bodies. Then better housekeeping practices. Cooking oil and fats should not be thrown down in the drain. They can harden and block the pipes. In an open drain, the fats clog the soil pores, reducing its effectiveness in filtering the water. Throw oil and fats in the dustbin. It is better to throw the oil and fats in the dustbin, not in the sink or drain. Chemicals like paint, solvents, insecticides, motor oil, medicines may kill microbes that help purifying the water. So do not throw them down in the drain. So there will be a presence of microbes which may purify the water, which are present in the sink or drain. When we throw the paints, solvents, insecticides, motor oil, medicines into the drain, they may kill them. So don't have to throw the chemicals in the drain. Used tea leaves, solid food remains, soft toys, cotton, sanitary towels, etc. should also be thrown in the dustbin. These wastes choke the drains. They do not allow free flow of oxygen. This hampers the degradation process. You have to throw the tea leaves, solid food remains, soft toys, cotton, sanitary towels, and etc. These materials should be thrown in the dustbins. Okay. Sanitation. Next point is sanitation. Poor sanitation and contaminated drinking water is the cause of a large number of diseases. Poor sanitation and contaminated drinking water, it is the cause of large number of disease. The poor sanitation and contaminated drinking water, it causes large number of diseases. A very large fraction of our people defecates in the open, on dry river beds, on railway tracks, near fields, and many a time directly in the water. It may cause water pollution and soil pollution. Both the surface water and groundwater get polluted. A large fraction of our people defecates in open on dry riverbeds. We throw the waste materials in water bodies or on the surface of the earth that may cause water pollution and soil pollution. These both the surface water and ground, this affects the surface water and also the groundwater, that affects the or that may pollute the surface water as well as groundwater. So you have not to put or throw the wastes into the water bodies. To remove To improve sanitation, low-cost on-site sewage disposal systems are being encouraged. Examples are septic tanks, chemical toilets, composting pits. To improve the sanitation, low-cost on-site sewage disposal systems have to be implemented. For example, septic tanks, chemical toilets, composting pits are to be used. Sanitation at public places. In railway stations, bus depots, airports, hospitals, large amount of waste is generated here. It must be disposed of properly, otherwise epidemics could break out. The wastes at railway stations, bus depots, airports, hospitals can be thrown in a proper manner or disposed in a proper manner. So, it can cause epidemic diseases. We should not scatter litter anywhere. If there is no dustbin in sight, we should carry the litter home and throw it in the dustbin. So this is about the wastewater and how can we treat the wastewater and how can we follow the sanitation at public places too, and how can we follow the better housekeeping practices. Hope you understood the chapter wastewater story. Thank you.